The unemployment crisis continues to affect people all across the country due to the coronavirus pandemic. And now, according to data, women are facing more job losses than men, specifically women who are non-white. So joining us now is President and CEO of the Institute for Women's Policy Research, Nicole Mason, to tell us more about what these bleak job numbers are indicating. So, Nicole, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about the economic uncertainty that women are now facing during this time. Why specifically are we seeing more women affected?
So 36 million jobs have been lost over the last 2 months. And to put that in perspective, in the Great Recession in 2008, we only lost about 8 million jobs. And women have been disproportionately impacted by the job losses this time around. So more than 60% of job losses have been by women. And it's mainly due to the fact that women are more likely to be in sectors that have been hardest hit. So the service sector, leisure and hospitality, education, childcare, those sectors have been hardest hit during the pandemic.
Some folks may be surprised at that number because a lot of folks think that, well, there are many women who are stay-at-home moms and this, that, and the other. And so therefore the numbers may not be as high for women. But help us understand, when you take a job away from a woman, specifically even a mother, how that can have a big trickle-down effect.
So the truth of the matter is that many women work outside of the home. So the long ago myth that many women are stay-at-home mothers is not true. More than 40% of mothers and more are breadwinner mothers, meaning their income contributes to more than 40 or 50% of the household income. So when women lose jobs or become unemployed, it has a really definite impact, huge impact on families as well as the economy.
Give us an idea specifically when you're talking about that impact of women losing their jobs in the workforce. What kind of real tangible impact are you seeing?
So in the immediate impact, the first thing is that women earn lower wages, especially women who have been impacted by the job losses this time around, so who are employed in service sector jobs. And so what that means that even before the start of the pandemic, these women had little or few savings, and the pandemic has only made that worse. So in terms of indirect impacts, we're talking about housing instability, not being able to provide food for their families. There's no clear way or pathway in terms of identifying another job, because I want to be very clear that economic recovery will be slow, and we will not have a one-for-one replacement for those jobs that have been lost. And when we add on or layer on challenges such as childcare, schools being out, camps being closed, women will have a hard time re-entering the workforce.
That is so very important, all those specifics in there. And you mentioned something that I want to touch on, because I wonder, could we see a wage gap even widen because of this when the workforce does open up some?
We could see the wage gap widen, and just at the beginning of the year, we were celebrating women being 51% of the workforce. And since the start of the pandemic, we've lost 2%, so now we're around 49%. And if we don't do things in the short term to make sure that women can reenter the workforce, those numbers will increase. And we also have there will be more competition for those jobs, which could mean the depression of wages.
All right, so let's flip this a little bit. Do you see any positive outcomes from this downturn, and would this be an opportunity for change?
Absolutely. So I'm really optimistic because of some of the things that have happened at the federal level to help families during this tough time. So the CARES Act had some really great provisions in it that I'm hoping will be institutionalized. And there's a really great piece of legislation that will provide more than $50 billion support to the child care infrastructure, which I think we need at this time. So in my mind, this is not a moment for us to take our foot off the pedal and regress. What we need to do is lean in, and some of those reliefs and protections extend once they expire. So I'm really optimistic that we can have some policies both at the federal and state level that will make sure that families are able to make it through.
Very important. All right, Nicole, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate your insight on this extremely important topic. Stay safe out there.
Thank you for having me.